3D Bookmaker Diecast Racing League.
Welcome back to the 3D Botmaker Diecast Racing League. It is time for our first ever BMW tournament.
All I gotta say is it's about time we got some quality cars on the track. Race Mountain is Mustang free, and that's a good thing if you ask me.
Let's take a look at our first group of drivers.
First up, we have Fred Barron.
Fred Barron is driving in a 73 BMW 3.0 CSL race car.
Then we have returning driver, the 2021 GT Tournament champion, Adam Munch.
He's in a BMW M3 GT2.
Next up is Gunther. Just Gunther.
The ring general is driving in a black BMW 2002.
And last up is Otto Bahn.
Otto Bahn will be in a 94 BMW M3 GTR. The drivers will compete in 4 races. The top 2 in points will advance on to the semifinal round.
I like all these cars, but I gotta go with the champ, Adam Munch.
Adam Munch certainly has the experience here in today's race. Fred Barron in the lead down the first straight. Here they go through turn 1. Gunther right behind him in second.
Fred Barron looking good out there so far.
Here they go through turn 2. Fred Barron holding on to that lead. Some great handling on that corner. He's going through the final turn.
Oh, he is gone.
Fred Barron way ahead of everyone else, and he will take the win on race 1. Followed by Gunther, Adam Munch, and Otto Bahn.
I gotta say, I expected more from the returning champ, Adam Munch. A third place finish when he started in the front row. He's gonna have to do better than that if he wants to advance on to the next round.
Yeah, I agree. You only start in the front row 2 times. You have to make the most of those races, at least finishing in first or second. But hey, there's still 3 races to go, so there's plenty of time to catch up. Here we go with race 2. Fred Barron currently on top with 5 points. Gunther with 3, Adam Munch has 2, and Otto Bahn has 1.
We should also note, in comparison to the last tournament so far, no DNFs, no wrecks.
I think that's a little premature. We're only 1 race in, and there's a lot of racing to go.
These are quality German cars, 3D. Quality.
Gunther and Otto Bahn get tied up, and they come to a stop. That's 2 DNFs.
Okay, but it wasn't a crash.
Adam Munch and Fred Barron round the final turn, and it's a close race to the finish, but Adam Munch will take the win, followed by Fred Barron.
There we go.
There is now only a 1-point difference between Fred Barron and Adam Munch.
Now that's the Adam Munch I expected to see.
Well, sometimes it takes a race or 2 down the track to really find your groove.
Apparently Otto Bahn has not found his groove yet.
Oh, he's found his groove. It's called the gutter.
Remember, round 1 is all about weeding out the slow drivers.
Gunther and Otto Bahn seriously behind in points. Gunther has 3. That is 4 points behind second place. Otto Bahn and Gunther starting in the front row on this one.
Otto Bahn with the lead.
A close group into turn 1. Gunther advancing on the outside. Gunther overtakes Otto Bahn. Now it's Fred Barron passing Otto Bahn to take second.
Here comes the Fred Barron.
Fred Barron passes. He's sideways now.
We got bumper cars.
Down goes Otto Bahn. Gunther stalls. Adam Munch gets stuck. And race 3 will go to Fred Barron.
Not Fred Barron, the Fred Barron.
That is a big win there for Fred Barron. He escapes the carnage to take the win. That right there will secure his spot in the next round. The question still remains, who will be joining him?
Well, Adam Munch still has 4 points over Gunther, so I think the champ will make it through.
Assuming he doesn't get another DNF.
Well, this DNF wasn't really his fault.
Here's the replay. Fred Barron getting spun around, then pushed forward again. Otto Bahn then rolled over, and Adam Munch got stuck behind Gunther. That is quite a few DNFs so far. I'm wondering maybe if you weren't a little too harsh on the Mustangs in the last tournament.
I was absolutely not too harsh. Here's the question. How many BMWs so far have ended up on their roof?
Otto Bahn just rolled over.
Did he end up on his roof, though?
Well, no.
Well, there you go.
Gunther and Fred Barron side by side here. Fred Barron with the overtake. He's already guaranteed a spot, so it's all about second place here. Fred Barron approaching the final turn.
Look at how he handles those corners.
Amazing stability and control by Fred Barron. That will be his 3rd win of the day. He will be advancing on to the semifinal round, joined by Adam Munch.
Another 3rd place finish for Adam Munch. Again, I was expecting more from him, but I am glad to see him move on to the next round.
Well, right now, Fred Barron appears to be the driver to beat in this tournament. He's got the speed, the handling, and the control, and it really showed in today's race. Here's the current tournament bracket. Coming up next time, we have Big Money Winston, Simon Sema,
who's got the keys to my Beamer,
Luke Von Solo, and Kiko Havana.
May the force be with them all.
Welcome back to the 3D Botmaker Diecast Racing League. It is time for round 1, group 2 of the BMW tournament.
That's right, we got Germany's finest racing here on Race Mountain.
So far, Fred Barron,
the Fred Barron,
and the GT champion Adam Munch have advanced on to round 2. Let's see who's racing today.
First up, we have Big Money Winston driving in the BMW 1M.
Not to be confused with the M1.
Then we got Simon Sema, who's got the keys to my Beamer in the 2016 BMW M2.
Then driving in the BMW Z4M is Luke Von Solo.
May the force be with you.
Oh, may the force be with you too.
And last up is Kiko Havana driving in the 1969 BMW 2002.
The drivers will compete in 4 races. The top 2 drivers in points will advance on to the semi-final round. The drivers are ready, and here we go. Big Money Winston starting on the front right, Simon Sema on the front left. It's a close race as they go through the first corner. Big Money now pulling ahead.
Sema chasing him into turn 2.
The other 2 drivers falling behind. Big Money sliding there but recovers. Winston and Sema through the final corner, followed by Kiko. Whoa! Kiko Havana is over. Simon Sema spins around. And it appears the only driver to make it past the finish line will be Big Money Winston.
A triple DNF, not a great way to start off this round.
Kind of reminds me of a previous tournament.
I don't really know what you're referring to.
The Mustang tournament.
Well, no, these are quality German cars here. This is not Mustangs.
Some might argue that the BMW is the Mustang of Germany.
Look, I may not know much about Germany or their cars, but I'll assure you this. There's no way these cars are as bad as the Mustangs.
I don't know, so far it's looking pretty similar here.
That race was just a fluke. You're about to see some real quality racing right here.
We'll find out. Simon Sema.
Who's got the keys to my Beamer?
You don't have to say that every time I say his name.
I just like saying
Well, please refrain from doing that. Sema out in front in the lead going through turn 1.
Look at Sema in that Beamer.
He's got a good lead here going into the second corner. Big Money Winston currently in second place, followed by Kiko Havana. Luke Von Solo in 4th.
I guess you can say the 4th is with him.
Big Money closing in on Sema, but Sema blocks! And Simon Sema takes the win on race 2, followed by Big Money Winston, Kiko Havana, and Luke Von Solo in 4th.
I tell you, the 4th is strong with this one.
Big Money Winston putting the pressure on Simon Sema right here. Great track awareness there by Simon Sema, closing that opening, stopping Big Money Winston from passing.
That's a long name. We could just use his initials. Let's see, that'd be BMW.
Yeah, I think that's the idea of his name.
It spells BMW. That's very clever.
It's not that clever, and it's kind of douchey to flaunt your money around like that. Big Money Winston.
I kind of like it. Who knows, maybe I could start going by the name Big Money D.
But do you have big money?
Unfortunately, no.
This time we have Luke Von Solo in the front.
That must be strange for him, seeing that he's 4th sensitive.
Maybe he joined the dark side, that's why he's winning now.
Ooh, a Sith racer.
Oh, it's a pileup on the final turn.
That's the power of the dark side.
Big Money Winston and Kiko Havana roll their cars. Luke Von Solo takes the win, and that's going to put him back in the game with 6 points now. He's only 2 points behind Big Money Winston. Keep in mind the top 2 drivers in points advance on to the next round. Let's see a replay of what happened.
Here's what happened.
Oh boy.
You know how Darth Vader has that force choke?
Yeah.
Well, Luke Von Solo has that same power.
Okay.
And he just took out Big Money and Kiko Havana.
I'm guessing you've been watching Obi-Wan.
I've seen Obi-Wan, 2, and 3.
Okay, well here we go. The final race. Big Money in the lead with 8. Luke Von Solo has 6. Simon Sema 5. Kiko Havana 2.
Luke Von Solo and Big Money Winston in the front row.
Here they go. It's a close race into turn 1. Simon Sema right on the tail of Big Money Winston. Luke Von Solo falls back to 3rd.
It's a close race here.
Big Money pulling away, headed into the final turn. Here they come to the finish line, and race 4 will go to Big Money Winston, followed by Simon Sema, Luke Von Solo. I don't see Kiko.
Look at the score. We got a tie.
Oh, we do have a tie between Luke Von Solo and Simon Sema.
There goes Kiko upside down.
Looks like a German Mustang to me.
I think it's just that model.
Big Money Winston has secured his spot in the next round. We are going to have a race-off between Luke Von Solo and Simon Sema. Simon Sema had the faster track time, so Simon Sema gets the inside lane advantage on this tiebreaker race.
This should be a good one. Beanie Man versus the Star Wars universe.
It's Luke Von Solo versus Simon Sema.
Who's got the keys to
You don't have a Beamer, that's why you don't have the keys.
That's kind of rude. I could drive a Beamer if I wanted to.
Really?
If I wanted to. I don't want to, okay? I want to make sure that's very clear.
Simon Sema with the lead around turn 2. Luke Von Solo is fading into the background.
Oh, this race is over.
Yes, very much so. Simon Sema will take the win and advance on with Big Money Winston to the second round.
Luke Von Solo clearly is a Padawan. Much to learn he has. Much to learn.
Let's see the tournament bracket. So far we have Fred Barron.
That's the Fred Barron.
It doesn't say the or the, it just says Fred Barron.
It's the Fred Barron.
You're just making up stuff, aren't you?
Just continue on.
Along with Adam Munch, and on the right side we have Big Money Winston and Simon Sema. Coming up next race, it's Anthony Stark, Rob Kubica, Mike Crash, and Braun Swagger.
So you're already projecting that Rob is going to crash?
No, he's a great driver.
Well, you said he might crash.
No, I didn't.
I thought I heard you.
Welcome back to the 3D Bot Maker Diecast Racing League BMW Tournament. It is time for the third group of round one.
It looks like we have some classics out there on the track today.
Here's the bracket so far. Fred Barron, Adam Munch, Big Money Winston, and Simon Sema already making it to the semifinals.
First up today, we have Anthony Stark driving in the BMW M1. Go Iron Man.
Then we have a racing legend, Rob Kubica, driving in the 1973 BMW 3.0 CSL race car. Next up is Mike Rash driving in a 2015 BMW i3.
I have to agree, I think that car will crash.
And finally, we have Braun Swagger driving in a 92 BMW M3.
So we have like a 70s car, 80s, 90s, and a 2015.
Yeah, you're right. This is like a BMW throughout the years race.
Well, you know me, I am an 80s baby, so I got to go with Anthony Stark.
Anthony Stark starting on the front right, Rob Kubica on the front left. A close race between Anthony and Rob. Anthony Stark with the lead. Here comes Rob Kubica with the pass.
Come on, Iron Man.
A nice move there by Rob Kubica. He's got a great lead now through the final turn. And Rob Kubica will take the win on race one.
Ooh.
Some contact.
Oh, what happened there?
Anthony Stark goes over, and then Braun Swagger comes in to finish things off. I'm telling you, 2D, this is pretty much the Mustang tournament, just with different emblems on the car.
I refuse to believe that. This is Germany's finest right here.
It's the German Mustang.
These are much better than a Mustang.
I think we may need to bring back the counter that counts all the DNFs and the crashes to compare the two.
We've only had like a few fender benders.
That right there is more than just a fender bender.
He'll be fine. I'm sure you could just walk that off.
Let's see that replay one more time here. Anthony Stark just barely taking second place, crossing the finish line on his roof, followed by Mike Crash.
Mike Crash? What are you talking about? He did crash.
No, I'm talking about the driver, Mike Crash.
The driver crashed, 3D. We just saw the replay multiple times.
I'm talking about Mike. Just Mike.
Who's Mike?
The guy driving the black BMW i3.
Oh, Mike Rash. That's his name, okay.
Here we go with race two. Rob Kubica in the front, followed by Anthony Stark in second. Kubica's veteran skills here as a race car driver definitely showing in today's race.
He certainly knows his way around a track in a BMW.
Anthony Stark drafting right behind him. Kubica pulls right, Anthony Stark right on his tail, but Rob Kubica will hold on to it to take the win, followed by Anthony Stark, Braun Swagger, and Mike Rash.
I didn't see anyone crash on this race at all.
Okay, this who's on first thing needs to stop.
Who?
It's Mike.
Who's on first?
You know what I'm talking about.
I thought Rob was first.
You know what? Let's just look at the replay. Anthony Stark really putting the pressure on Rob Kubica. He pulls right here. I thought it was going to open the path for Anthony Stark to pass on the outside, but it appears Anthony was just happy to come in second place.
Well, you only have to be in the top two to advance on to the semifinal round. Right now, Anthony is in second place. He's 3 points ahead of Mike and Braun, so he's looking pretty good so far.
Rob Kubica with 2 wins in a row. Braun Swagger starting this race off on the front right. Mike R on the front left.
Wait, that's their car on the front left?
2D!
What?
Braun Swagger with the lead.
Uh-oh.
Mike cutting off Rob. And down goes Anthony Stark.
That was a spoiler for Endgame right there.
Braun Swagger all by himself. Rob Kubica in distant second. Braun Swagger takes the win, followed by Rob Kubica and Mike.
Mike who?
Nope, we're not doing that.
Does he have a last name?
That win will move Braun Swagger into the second place spot, bumping Anthony Stark down with 1 race to go. Mike got sideways in front of Rob. That slowed everybody down. Anthony Stark just not having enough speed to make it around that high bank turn.
A tough break for the Iron Man.
Here we go with the final race. Rob Kubica with 13 points. Braun Swagger has 8. Anthony Stark has 6. Mike with 5. Mike starting on the front right. Anthony Stark on the front left. A close race into one. Anthony and Mike side by side. Anthony takes the lead. Mike gets sideways again.
Mike Rash at it again. Oh!
Down goes Braun Swagger. Anthony Stark approaching the finish line.
Yes.
He takes the win, and I believe that will give him enough points to advance on to the next round.
Oh, yeah.
Let's wait for the final score.
Go, Iron Man, go.
Yes, it will. Your 2 drivers moving on to the next round are Rob Kubica and Anthony Stark.
Mike Rash helping out Anthony Stark by holding back Braun Swagger and causing him to crash.
Mike definitely causing a lot of trouble for the other drivers on the track today.
Well, they don't call him Mike Rash for nothing.
Welcome back to the 3D Bot Maker Diecast Racing League. It is time for the 4th group of round 1 in the BMW tournament.
Are my eyes deceiving me, or is that a dog in the car with Frank Stein?
That's Lily, the dog.
Oh, okay.
Here's the bracket so far. Today we'll find out who will join Fred Barron and Adam Munch.
First up, we have Dr. Jim Beamer. Of course, he's a doctor.
Of course.
He's driving in the BMW M4.
Then we have returning driver from the Halloween Hot Rods tournament, Frank Stein, with Lily the dog.
So he's driving with his dog.
It might be his dog, I don't know.
Okay. Then we have Katie Swift in another BMW M4. This one is in red.
We've got one more red car driven by David Duche.
What a douche.
It's Duche.
Tomato, tomato.
He'll be driving in the 2016 BMW M2.
Wow, I didn't realize Frank Stein is in a convertible with a dog.
You seem to be making a big deal about this dog. I don't get it. It's Lily the dog.
Well, we don't usually have animal companions with the drivers in a race.
It might be a service animal. We don't know.
Are you saying Frank Stein can't see?
Well, it's rude to ask, so we didn't ask.
What? You have to be able to see to have a driver's license.
Dr. Jim Beamer out in the lead. Frank Stein in second.
This is
Here they
wild.
come around the final turn.
Maybe the dog should drive.
Here they come to the finish line. Dr. Jim Beamer takes the win. Whoa!
You see?
Wow.
That's why you have to be able to see to drive.
He has Lily the dog with him. He's fine.
Okay, look at that. They're both upside down in a convertible. I don't think either of them are fine.
Well, what happened to that BMW quality you've been talking about this whole tournament
It's
so far?
a convertible with a dog. Am I the only sane one here today?
You must be a cat person.
I am not.
Yep, cat person all the way.
I love dogs, just not dogs racing.
The dog isn't racing, it's in the passenger seat. Well, it was in the passenger seat. Now it's out in the car. See, it's fine.
Oh my, the dog has an outfit and a hat on. What has this racing league become?
I think that's a little tiny helmet on its head just in case the car flipped over, which in this case it did. After all, it is a BMW.
Well, I'm glad to see the dog's okay.
Let's see that replay one more time. Pay close attention. No, he did not use his blinker at all.
Wow, he got slammed by Katie Swift there.
All I know is that is one strong windshield on that M3 did not crack at all. You got to give it up to the Germans and their glass-making ability. That's one race down. Dr. Jim Beamer in the lead with 5. Frank Stein and Lily in second with 3rd. Katie Swift has 2, and David Duche has no points. He had a DNF. Frank Stein out in the lead.
Why won't Frank look straight? He's always looking to the left.
That's just his style. We saw that in the Halloween Hot Rods tournament as well.
I think his vision may be impaired.
Impaired or not, he's doing well in this race. Frank Stein rounding the final turn. David Duche blocking Dr. Jim Beamer.
Well, that was a douchey move right there, running the doctor off the road.
Hey, that's racing sometimes.
Come on, the man's a doctor. Show some respect.
Frank Stein and Lily the dog take the win. That's going to put them now in first place with 8 points. 3 points over Dr. Jim Beamer. Katie Swift spun around and stopped over on the exit of turn 3.
Now look at Frank Stein. What is he looking at? He's not looking at the road.
Well, he could be using echolocation.
Echo what?
Echolocation like bats use.
So he's got a dog and a bat?
Well, no, he doesn't have a bat, but he's using like the technique that bats use to get around. It's a theory.
So you're saying he has bat abilities, like he's Batman?
Well,
it's Batman.
Not Batman.
And Lily is his sidekick.
You could say that, I guess.
His Robin.
It's a dog, not a bird.
I'm so confused.
Here we go with race 3. We have David Duche. Duche on the front right. Katie Swift on the front left. Dr. Beamer gets into the side of Frank Stein. They both come to a stop on 2. David Duche in the lead here. His front end pops up coming out of that turn, and he'll... Oh! Wow!
David Douche just got what he deserved.
It's Douche... Oh. It's Duche.
Get him, Katie.
And no one deserves to wreck at the finish line.
Look, with David, I already know the type. He's got a lot of money. He thought he could buy his way into this race and win. Then he discovered right here, your money does not make you a good driver.
It also appears that he may have failed to use his blinker.
Is that standard equipment on these cars?
I'm not sure. Let me check on that.
Because I've never seen one on a BMW.
I'm guessing it's an optional add-on at the dealership, but no one ever actually has it installed.
I guess you don't need it if you're a douche.
Duche, that's David Duche. He is now tied for first place with Frank Stein and Lily the dog. Dr. Beamer and Katie Swift tied with 5. This right here is the 4th and final race. Top 2 advance on to the semifinal round. It's a close one between Dr. Jim Beamer and Katie Swift. Dr. Beamer in the lead around 2.
The doctor is in.
Look at Katie Swift on the outside with a pass.
Wow, what a pass.
Katie Swift in the lead to the finish line. And Katie Swift takes the win, followed by Frank Stein with Lily the dog. And both of them will be advancing on to the semifinal round.
Well, that was certainly an exciting finish to this race. An amazing pass by Katie Swift.
Yes, it was. Here it is again. It looked like Dr. Jim Beamer had this race. He understeers, and then look at Katie Swift switching lanes.
She saw the opportunity and pounced on it, and man, Katie is certainly swift.
Yes, a clutch move there at the end by Katie Swift to secure her spot in the semifinal round. Here is the bracket for round 2. On the left side, we have Fred Barron, Adam Munch, Frank Stein with Lily, and Katie Swift. On the right, Big Money Winston, Simon Sema,
who's got the keys,
Rob Kubica, and Anthony Stark. Welcome back to the 3D Bot Maker Diecast Racing League. It's time for round 2 in the 2022 BMW tournament.
I'm still concerned about Frank Stein in that convertible.
He'll be just fine. Both Frank and Lily the dog signed a waiver before the tournament, so we are good.
Okay, because waivers certainly save lives.
That's a good slogan. Up first today, we have Fred Barron.
The Fred Barron.
He's driving the 73 3.0 CSL race car.
Then we have Frank Stein with Lily the dog in the BMW 323.
They are both fan favorites in this race. Then we have returning champion Adam Munch in the BMW M3 GT2.
He won the GT tournament last season.
And last up, we have Katie Swift driving in the BMW M4.
She made an amazing last-minute pass in the last race. Let's see if she can make it through to the finals.
Here we go. The drivers are at the start. They will compete in 4 races. The top 2 drivers in points advance on to the final round.
The Fred Barron and Frank Stein in the front row.
Don't forget Lily.
And the dog.
Fred Barron in the lead through the first turn. Adam Munch and Frank Stein fighting for second place. Frank Stein pulls ahead.
The Fred Barron has been a real ace out there on the track.
He's got a nice lead going through the final turn. And this race will go to Fred Barron, followed by Frank Stein on 2 wheels. Whoa!
Ooh, that's...
Uh-oh.
That doesn't look good.
The car of Frank Stein and Lily the dog upside down.
That's not good.
This is not the first time they've been upside down on their... Well, they don't have a roof.
Out of all the cars in this tournament, how does the one with no roof keep flipping over?
I'm sure it has something to do with physics.
Well, yeah, obviously.
Looking at the replay, Frank Stein was riding the barrier on 2 wheels. Then he bounced over to the right lane and may have got a little push from Adam Munch.
Well, I think the dog's okay.
Lily the dog out of the car. Frank Stein, he's still working his way out.
That guy right there appears to be distracted by the dog.
Well, the medic crew is on vacation right now, so we have the auto mechanics helping out.
Do they know what they're doing?
There's a shared skill set in there somewhere.
Fixing cars, fixing people, same thing.
Basically, yes.
You know, seeing that replay again, shout out to Frank Stein and Lily the dog for both wearing their seatbelts.
Yes, that accident could have been a lot worse. We certainly don't want to see any roadkill in this race.
Unless it's like a tasty animal, then roadkill will be welcomed by me at least.
That doesn't sound very good.
What if Lily was a cow?
Well, we'd have burgers, but... Frank Stein with a nice lead through turn 2.
Look straight ahead, Frank, not left.
Frank Stein with a blind turn there.
He's wobbling.
And Frank Stein picks up the win safe and sound. That's going to push him up on the scoreboard. A late hit there by Fred Barron. And Frank Stein is on top of the scoreboard with 8 points.
I got to give it up. That was a great race by Frank Stein. I don't know how he drives so well, looking only in one direction.
Well, maybe Lily the dog is like his co-pilot.
So she's giving him directions.
Possibly something like bark once, turn left, bark twice, turn right. I don't know.
You do realize how ridiculous that sounds.
Dogs are amazing creatures. They can do amazing things. They could sense things people can't sense.
Well, I once saw a dog ride a skateboard.
Yeah, see, there you go. If a dog could ride a skateboard, why can't a dog be a co-pilot in a race?
Touche, 3D. Touche.
This time we have Adam Munch and Katie Swift in the front row. Adam Munch in the blue car with a slight lead here. Katie falls into second place. Fred Barron in third. Katie a little loose around that corner.
Katie appeared to be blocking the Fred Barron.
Adam Munch holding on to that lead. And race 3 will go to Adam Munch, followed by Katie Swift.
Oh, what happened back there?
Frank Stein gets stuck behind Fred Barron. That's going to be a DNF for both drivers. And that's going to make the scoreboard very, very close. Frank Stein and Adam Munch both have 8 points. Fred Barron and Katie Swift have 7. Only 1 point separates the top 2 drivers from the bottom 2, and we've only got 1 race left.
This really is anybody's race right here.
It all comes down to this. Adam Munch with the pole position, Fred Barron to his outside in the red car, Katie Swift and Frank Stein in the back row. Here they go for the final race.
Who's going to move on to the next round?
Adam Munch with a slight lead. Here comes the Fred Barron gaining on the outside.
Look at Frank.
Frank Stein passes up Adam Munch. He's now in second. They're out of turn 2, heading down McClyde Straight.
The Fred Barron with a big lead here.
Frank Stein still in second, followed closely behind by Adam Munch. And the race will go to Fred Barron, followed by Frank Stein with Lily the dog, and those will be your top 2, advancing on to the final round.
Well, I thought Adam Munch had that for sure. He was starting in the pole position, but right here, Frank Stein passes him up, and it was all over from there.
Congratulations to both drivers advancing on. Here's the tournament bracket. Coming up next time, we have Big Money Winston, Simon Sema,
got the keys to my Beamer,
Rob Kubica, and Anthony Stark. Welcome back to the 3D Bot Maker Diecast Racing League BMW Tournament Round 2, Group 2.
The last race before the finals.
That is correct. Let's take a look at the tournament bracket. Fred Barron and Frank Stein have already advanced on. Which 2 drivers will be joining them?
Well, first up, we have Big Money Winston driving in the BMW 1M.
Let's see if he gets gold in today's race. Next, we have racing legend Rob Kubica driving in the 1973 BMW 3.0 CSL race car.
Then it's Simon Sima, who got the keys to my Beamer, driving in the 2016 BMW M2.
That was pretty good.
Thanks.
And last up, we have Anthony Ironman Stark driving in the BMW M1. Not to be confused with the 1M in this race.
I'm already confused.
Well, that's kind of normal for you.
Hey.
The drivers will compete in 4 races. Top 2 drivers advance on to the finals. And here they go down the track for the first race. Big Money Winston out in front in the gold BMW 1M. Rob Kubica on his outside. Simon Sima in second, but here comes Kubica on the inside.
It's a back and forth for second place.
Kubica gets sideways. Big Money Winston all by himself.
Uh-oh, we got a stall back there.
And Big Money Winston will pass the finish line with a track time of 17.736 seconds. And wow, look at that. Not a great way to start this race for the remaining 3 drivers.
Well, you got Rob Kubica out there blocking traffic. Right there, he cut off Simon Sima. Anthony Stark tried to go around him, but all 3 came to a stop with a triple DNF.
That's going to be a big advantage on the scoreboard for Big Money Winston. 5 points over everyone else. Let's see what happens on race 2. This time we have Rob Kubica on the front right and Anthony Stark on the front left. And they're off. A close group down the first straight. Rob Kubica with a slight lead. Anthony Stark in second. Stark is gaining now. He's in first place.
Here we go again.
Stark is getting pushed all over the track. He's going in reverse now.
He's swerving out there.
Here comes Rob Kubica with the pass.
Nice.
They're through the final turn. Rob Kubica will take this win, followed by Anthony Stark going backwards and Simon Sima going sideways.
Hey, this is a pretty aggressive race here. A lot of paint swapping, a lot of bumping going on.
A lot of cutting off the other drivers, which is what Anthony Stark did right here. Shout out to Simon Sima for keeping that race going through that turn, pushing the car of Anthony Stark, and then look at Rob Kubica right there.
A very clean pass by the veteran racer.
And just like that, Big Money Winston's lead got shrunk way down. He now has 6 points. Rob Kubica in second with 5. Anthony Stark has 3, and Simon Sima all the way on the bottom with 2.
Stark and Sima starting in the front row of this race.
Look at this right here. A lot of close racing today.
I love it.
Sima with the lead. Anthony Stark.
Whoa! What just happened?
Wow.
His car is gone.
That's not good. Can we go to break? No, we can't go to break. Well, Simon Sima takes his first win, followed by Big Money Winston. Rob Kubica gets stuck. And Anthony Stark
went to that big racetrack in the sky.
We don't know that. We're still trying to find the car.
Say hi to McLeod for me, Anthony.
Race in peace, McLeod. I'm sure he'll be fine once we find where his car went. And there it is behind the gas station.
What a way to go out. That's how I want to go out when I go.
Behind a gas station?
No, man, not the gas station. A blaze of glory. Look at this right here. Boom, he pulls off a barrel roll in the air. Amazing. And landed on his tires.
Here it is from another angle. Wow.
Well, he hit the roof there, but then he landed on his wheels.
Well, the garage roof may have actually broken his fall.
Here it is again. Iron Man boosters engaged. Anthony Stark is taken off.
We're getting word on the condition of Anthony Stark. They're saying since this is not the last race, Anthony Stark is okay and cleared to race.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yes, apparently crashing on the final race is much more deadly.
Well, that's good information to know.
Current standings, Big Money Winston is on top with 9 points. Simon Sima has 7. Rob Kubica has 5. Anthony Stark with 3. Winston and Simon Sima starting in the front row. The top 2 drivers advance on to the final round. Here they go, Simon Sima with a slight lead. Another close race through 1. Big Money Winston just edging out Anthony Stark for 2nd. Rob Kubica passes up Anthony Stark to take 3rd.
Simon Sima's got a big lead here.
Sima hits the wall, slows him down.
Oh, he's sideways.
Rob Kubica trying to push his way through the first, and he does it!
Whoa! Wow.
Rob Kubica, and we got a tie!
Oh, yes!
Big Money Winston will be advancing to the finals, but we have a tie for 2nd place between Simon Sima and Rob Kubica. That means we will have a tie-breaker race.
This is awesome.
That race should have gone to Simon Sima, but he messed up in that last turn section. Rob Kubica, capitalizing on Simon Sima's mistake, pushes his way to victory, giving him 5 points to tie the score with Simon Sima.
And now we got a tiebreaker race.
Simon Sima gets the inside lane because he had the faster track time today.
I don't know who to cheer for here, but I'm kind of going for Rob, the veteran race car driver. But on the other hand, it's Simon Sima, so may the best driver win.
Right now, Simon Sima has the lead. Rob Kubica not far behind. He's gaining on him.
Rob Kubica wants this bad. He is hungry.
Simon Sima sliding around. Rob Kubica on his tail.
This is such a close race.
Sima is sideways. Rob Kubica trying to pass again. But Simon Sima takes it by a nose, and he will be joining Big Money Winston in the finals.
Oh, man.
What a race.
This race right here was worth the price of admission. Rob Kubica really putting on a show today. I'm sad to see him out of the tournament. He was so close to repeating that same pass on the final straight.
That was some real on the edge of your seat action today. Here is the bracket going into the final round. Fred Barron, Frank Stein with Lily, Big Money Winston, and Simon Sema.
That is going to be quite a race, especially with Frank Stein and Lily the dog on the track.
Welcome back to the 3D Botmaker Diecast Racing League. It is time for the final round in the BMW tournament.
We got 4 of the best cars to ever come out of Germany.
That's debatable.
And Lily the dog as Frank Stein's co-pilot. What more could you want?
Let's take a look at our 4 finalists. Up first, we have Big Money Winston driving in the BMW 1M.
Our next driver is no stranger to a dogfight. It's the Fred Barron driving the 73 BMW 3.0 CSL race car.
Then we have Simon Sema.
Who's got the keys to
They're right here. They're right here, 2D.
Oh, I've been looking for those.
Sema is in the BMW M2.
And last up, co-piloted by Lily the dog, is Frank Stein in the BMW 323. Go Team Lily.
So now you're in support of the dog in the car?
Yeah, Frank and Lily won me over.
Well, that's good, I guess. As usual for the tournament series, the finals is 8 races long. After the first 4, the drivers will line back up based on their points and then race 4 more.
Hey, who doesn't love more racing?
McLeod?
Whoa,
What?
3D.
Too soon?
McLeod is still racing, he's just racing in peace now.
That's true. Race in peace, McLeod.
I didn't expect that from you.
Here comes Big Money Winston past the finish line to take race 1, followed by Simon Sema, and I am not seeing anyone else down here.
Oh, it's a double DNF.
Yes, it is.
Oh, come on, not Frank and Lily. Get out of the way, Fred Barron. Get out of the way.
Fred Barron blocking Frank and Lily from getting down the track. You can see right there, Simon Sema blocking Fred Barron. That slowed him down. Frank Stein pushing on the back end of Barron's car, forcing him sideways, bringing both drivers to a stop.
All right, Frank and Lily, this is your time to shine.
Fred Barron starting on the front right, Frank and Lily on the front left. Winston and Sema in the back row, the only 2 drivers right now with points.
Well, that's going to change right now.
Here they go through turn 1. Whoa, Fred Barron off the road.
What happened there?
He got pushed through by Big Money Winston. Both drivers still in the race.
Look at Frank and Lily. Go, baby, go.
Frank and Lily through the final turn. Simon Sema right behind him. And race 2 will go to Frank Stein,
yes,
followed by Simon Sema.
There we go.
Fred Barron will take 3rd. Whoa.
That's going to leave a dent.
Fred Barron shoving Simon Sema out the way. And Big Money Winston gets a DNF. That's going to move Simon Sema to the first place spot.
Frank and Lily now tied with Big Money Winston.
Look at Fred Barron driving in the grass. Then he was up on the hood of that BMW 1M. And after all that, he still managed to finish the race. Here we go with race 3. We have Frank Stein on the front right. Simon Sema on the left in the blue car.
All right, Frank and Lily got the pole position. Let's make it count.
Here they go down the track for race 3. Simon Sema with the lead. Frank Stein behind in second.
Frank Stein is gaining on him.
It's a battle into the open track. Simon Sema now pulling ahead. Right now it's Sema, Stein, Winston, Barron.
Frank Stein not giving up here.
It's a close one. What?
Hold on. Wait a minute. What just happened right there?
I'm speechless.
What just happened?
I am not quite sure. I think we're going to need to go to the replay because I think I might be seeing things. You saw that too?
I think I did, but I didn't think that was even possible.
Okay, here's the replay. Simon Sema in the lead. He goes right, then whoa.
Well, call me a Mustang and slap me silly. That BMW just used its blinker.
This is a historic moment.
I've heard stories and tales of the BMW driver who used their turn signal, but up to right now, I thought it was just a legend, a myth.
Somebody call Guinness. This has to be a world record.
It's like catching Bigfoot on tape.
Except this is actually real.
Bigfoot is real as well.
You know what? After seeing that blinker, anything's possible.
What about that raise I emailed you
Simon
about?
Sema and Big Money Winston in the front row. Simon Sema with the lead through turn 1.
With inflation and the cost of
Simon
living.
Sema with a nice lead here. Look at that, 2D.
He's looking good.
Fred Barron and Frank get tangled up, and Fred Barron is over.
At least Lily's safe.
Simon Sema all alone on the final straight. And race 4 goes to Simon Sema, followed by Big Money Winston. That will give Simon Sema a big lead on the scoreboard, 16 points. Big Money Winston has 10. Frank Stein with 8, and Fred Barron only with 3 points after 4 races.
Yeah, he's not having a good day.
We're going to go ahead and take a break. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to the 3D Botmaker Diecast Racing League. This is the second half of the BMW Tournament Finals.
BMW history in the making.
The drivers have lined up based on their standings. Simon Sema and Big Money Winston in the front row. Here they go down the first straight. Simon Sema in the lead through turn 1.
He is really moving out there.
So far, Sema has won 2 races and came in second place twice.
Here comes Big Money.
Winston with a fast overtake on the outside. He is now in control of this race. And Big Money Winston takes the win, followed by Sema.
Oh! He didn't see it, but I guarantee you he felt it.
Fred Barron coming in hot going backwards, runs into the BMW 1M of Big Money Winston.
And another DNF for Frank Stein and Lily the dog.
That's 3 DNFs.
I know.
Look right here at the gold car of Big Money Winston. He gets a burst of speed and flies right past Simon Sema.
Then we had Fred Barron doing some demolition derby driving right here.
A hard hit at the intersection. It appears this is becoming a race between Big Money Winston and Simon Sema. Sema has a 4-point lead over Winston, but there's still 3 races to go. Here they go down the track for race 6. Big Money Winston out in the lead in the gold car. Sema and Fred Barron battling for second.
Sema right behind Winston.
That is where the action is at for this race. They're through turn 2 down McClyde Straight. Whoa, Winston hits the side!
Oh,
what did Simon Sema just do?
Not only can Simon Sema use his blinker, but he can do initial D-style gutter runs around the corner.
I don't think we've ever seen anyone pass on that corner like that, ever.
I am convinced, and again, I have knowledge in this area, Simon Sema is some sort of wizard.
Well, you can certainly call him a racing wizard. Here it is again, Big Money Winston blowing a tire or something right there. Simon Sema goes to pass, there's no room, so he just hooks the gutter and goes around on the inside anyways.
I'm sorry, as amazing as that was, is that girl okay?
Who?
The one who's lying down in the lake. Apparently she's been in that position the entire race.
I'm sure she's fine. Here's that pass one more time. Big Money Winston goes from first place to upside down on the track. That's going to be a DNF. Simon Sema now has a 9-point lead. I really don't see how Big Money Winston can come back from that.
Yeah, he's starting the last 2 races in the back row. It's going to take a BMW miracle for it to happen. We did see a BMW driver use their blinker today, so again, anything is possible, I guess.
Well, right now, Fred Barron is out in front. Winston looking for the pass on the inside, but Fred Barron takes the lead right back.
He had it, then he lost it.
Here they go down the final straight, and Fred Barron will take the win, followed by Simon Sema. How'd that happen?
I'm telling you, 3D, he is a wizard.
I'm convinced he is as well.
It's pretty obvious.
Sema now has a 10-point lead, so it is pretty much official. He will be our BMW tournament winner, but we will still run the last race because after what we've seen so far today, who knows what will happen.
I'm still concerned about that person in the lake.
She's probably doing some kind of yoga water therapy.
Oh, is that a thing?
It probably is. I just thought of it.
Let me see. Oh yeah, look at this. Hydra yoga therapy. Hail Hydra.
Here they go down the track for the final race. Simon Sema and Frank Stein in the front.
Come on, let's get one last win, Frank Stein. Do it for Lily.
Simon Sema says nope as he overtakes Frank Stein.
Sema is too good.
Whoa, he's swerving out of control.
Go for the gutter run, Frank. Well, that didn't work.
Frank Stein off the road, and Simon Sema will take his 4th win of the day, and he will be your BMW tournament champion.
Look at that score, 32 points over 19. And I gotta say, what a disappointment by Frank Stein and Lily the dog. That is why you do not bring dogs to the racetrack.
There he is, your tournament champion, Simon Sema, in the BMW M2. We'll see him again in the end of year finals. Until next time, I'm 3D Botmaker.
And I'm 2D.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the track.